official. Officially live on YouTube. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's do something here and then we're going to head into the garage and start and finish, I should say. Finish this piece. It needs finishing. We shall see. I had a little time off there. I apologize. My left shoulder has been having some serious issues to the point where I can't even lift a paintbrush. So, my bad for the hiatus, but we're good to go. I hope this doesn't change it. If this is working all right, because we have some new gear. Yeah, it looks like it's working okay. Perfect. Okay, so I hope you know what time it is. I really do. We've been working on this for weeks now, and it's time to get her finished. So let me just throw on the other cameras here. Oh, that one was already on. Let's switch it back to film. There we go. And you are now recording. Excellent. Now you over here. Mm-hmm. I know it's not really that fun to see how it all goes down, but this is the backstage. You know, this will be the B-roll, as it were. And but you're here with me now. We're here live on Rockwood Restoration. So I'm going to start with the round one here. We just got to clean it all off. It is time to paint. Finally, time to paint. No more lollygagging. There's no more repairs that need to be done. I really hope this is going to work because these two pieces have had a lot of repairs. They've needed a lot of attention, and they were free, but you know, they're from 80s, 82, something like that. And in that time, they had a lot of mass production with furniture like this, and the products that they were using at the time, not the strongest products in the world. So caused a lot of bleed through. If you want to know what bleed through is exactly, we have a video. I have a video on that in the shorts, and I think I talked about it in detail on one of my last lives, which I'm going to be putting in chapters soon, so you guys can skip through and find the information that you want. But right now, I've had finally glad to get back to work. You know what's so funny is I had a rotator tear, right? It really hurt, really sucked. But I started doing push-ups. It's been months. It's hurt for a long time. What's up, Bot Ricks? It's hurt for a while, and all I had to do was some push-ups, and now it feels like amazingly better. So anyone watching that has a rotator cuff issue and you're over 40, go ahead, start doing push-ups on the daily, and yeah, pain went away pretty fast. Okay, so I guess I'll do one of the drawers first so we can do this kind of on camera a little bit, at least. It'll be more fun that way, I believe. Okay. So how was the weekend, everybody? Let's get back to it. This is now Tuesday. We're going to be getting this finished finally. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit subscribe if you're into, DIY home refinishing. I'm just doing a little furniture flip for these two pieces here. We're going to make them match. And let's go. Let's start. I'm ready. This is a long time coming. Long time. But when you have a rotator issue, you got to deal with it. And dealing with it was just doing a bunch of push-ups. I don't know. I thought that was pretty backward because usually if I'm at the gym and I'm doing any sort of pectoral exercise, that's the exercise that'll usually aggravate that part of my body. So weird, wild stuff. So we've got the deep navy. I'm gonna give it a quick stir. Welcome in everybody. Rockwood Restoration. My name's Justin. It doesn't really need much mixing, this paint. It is super thick. So this is chalked by Rust-Oleum. Really good for furniture paint. Also, if you've got kids and you paint their door with this paint, it turns it into a chalkboard, which is kind of cool. So it's fun. Fun little paint it is, yeah. Okay, let me just quickly wash that off. Forgot to get some water. I like to reuse the stir sticks. Why? Because why? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? That's why, okay? Because I'm cheap. So with the chalk paint, we're going to do a dry brush. Just going to get a little bit on the tip. Not a lot. Just going to crush it like that and just start crisscrossing it and put it on there. Usually this, I'm using a pretty thick layer of primer on here, so it'll go on nicely, but it'll take 2 to 3 coats. And I want to do 2 or 3 coats with this paint. So on the sides, it doesn't matter too much because we're going to put some wallpaper on the sides there of the drawers and on the bottom of the drawers. My friend gets me the sample books for free, so why not use them? Go ahead and like the live, everybody. If you like what you're seeing so far, you can like the channel, guys. I'm not going to say too much right now. I got to make sure there's a nice even coat. By dry brushing, you don't have any rhyme or reason. You don't have to really go in any specific direction. You're just getting the paint on. Now on the sides up here, I think I will. Yeah, because I'm going to do the insides with the decoupage. So we're going to do the tops blue, but not the inside of the actual drawer. Leave that as is. Or should we? Give it some thought. Yeah, this will definitely take 2 coats. But it is the coverage for chalk paint is amazing. Like you just throw it on and it dries really quickly. You just go ahead and do it once, and then go ahead and do it a second time almost instantly. But I'm gonna go around everything. I'm gonna give every single bit of both pieces a nice coat. And you know what? I think I'm gonna do the inside as well. Yeah, that makes sense. So if that's the case, I should have done that. But you know what? Again, I'm not selling these for too much money. I see another repair that I kind of want to get to, right? Well, no, I'm giving it an antique look. You'll see when it's finished, my guy. We're also on the sides, we're putting wallpaper inside. So yeah, there is a vision, my friend. You don't worry about a thing. Come on, he says. Come on. Who are you, Biden? Come on, man. Fucking Biden. We got Biden in the house here, man. All right, that's good enough for that one. And that's coat 1, sunshine. So you stick around. You see what it's like. Number 2. Now, these are 2 completely different pieces of furniture. One's got the drawer on the bottom, one's got the drawer on the top, one's round, one's square. We're going to make them match using paints, accents, the wallpaper like we talked about. Come on, man. It's going to be fun. You just sit tight. This is the way you want to use the chalk paint. You don't want to, you got to just do crisscrosses all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sveska. Ooh. What is this Sveska? Hey, hey. So I'm Justin. This is a new channel, guys. Been doing it for about 2 months now, just trying to get those subscribers up still. Go live pretty much like on a normal month. Sorry, on a normal week, pretty much go live every 3 days, something like that. But it has been a while now. I just recovered from a rotator issue. So feeling a lot better now. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. It's just kind of hard to make dialogue at the moment. I'm going to get the tops like the last one as well. Okay. Almost set. So again, it doesn't have to look pretty. This is just step number one. We're checking out the color. Okay, now I'm going to give this a nice little once over again. Now that it's drier. Okay. A bit much. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Good finish. You'll see when we're getting there, guys. When it's getting close, we're gonna start on the big pieces now. So let's get a little bit more intimate with this one on the left here. However, I'm going to quickly grab some water for myself. Gotta stay hydrated, everybody. I love the little clip-on microphone. All my gear and everything I use, from the paint sprayer to my sander to the lights that you're seeing, my camera gear, microphone gear, it's all in the description below. I encourage you to go check it out if you're interested or have any questions. Go ahead and put your questions in the comments section there, and I'll get to it within the hour after my live. Okay. So let's get a little bit more intimate with this round one here, because this is where we're going to begin. I don't want to have this open the whole time. Let me get a little smaller container. Do I have one? Not really. Yeah, well, not the end of the world if it dries out a wee bit. But here it goes. It's been a long time coming. Finally, we're getting this piece finished. Just going to go around the entire rim first. And we're going to do all the little details after. And like I said, I keep saying, with chalk paint, you don't have to be super precise. You just slap it on there, and believe me, it will cover. I'm using a nice big 2.5-inch brush here, which I should actually, you know what, I could leave that in these paint brushes. I could put that in the comments as well, in the description, so you guys can find all the gear that I'm using, all little bits. All my camera gear and everything's in the description, like I was saying. But just crisscross, cover it up. Don't forget to get on. You don't have to like be completely detailed on the underside, but make sure you're getting the whole rib there. No white bits showing through. It doesn't have to be perfect. I said it 1,000 times. We're going over this a few times today, guys. And it has been a long time And this one has been a nightmare. Like I said before, I used a little bit more time, put a little bit more time into these for the repairs because I think combined, I got this for $10. I keep saying I got it for free, but I think I spent $10 on one of them and the other one I got for free. There's a square one and a round one. We're going to make a match here. So this is Rust-Oleum chalk paint, deep navy. You get them colored at the store. They color it for you. There's other paints you can get that are chalk paint. They call them furniture paint, but essentially they're chalk paint. They're, Dixie Belle and Country Chick, all these different brands. They are bloody expensive. This Rust-Oleum one is expensive enough. I don't know, for the quart here is probably $45, I think. I can't remember now. I bought it like 2 or 3, about a month and a half ago, I should say. 6 weeks. Okay, for the final bit here, let's get rid of that. Sometimes you'll find a pesky little, especially if they're new. It's a good quality brush, but if they're new, you'll find a hair from time to time. Okay, you know what I got to do? I got to get a water bottle in here for my spritzing. Where did I put you before? Yeah, because I think this paint needs a little bit of thinning. It's going on a little bit thick, and I don't want it to have that look like, it's just got too much paint on it. So I'm going to get a spritz bottle and kind of water down the paint as I go. It's acrylic paint. It should be pretty easy. So it's just becoming a little. I'll get a little close up in just a second. Let me see if I get. Oh, let's check the comments. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm not even sure. Is that English? What is that, Alex? Come on, man. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'll be for 1 second here. Where did I put that water bottle now? Dun, 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 dun. Maybe it's under here. Yes. But it's full of soap. So let me just give me a second, guys. I'll be 1 second. Now, it's not super, super important when you're using a spritz bottle on wood furniture. You want to keep the water cold. It's not crazy. You just don't want it to be warm or hot water. And there's a few reasons for that. A, the paint dries faster when it's warm. And B, the steam or the warmth could actually open up the wood grain and it might create a little imperfections in the finish. Might have a little spots that raise up or some spots that split, especially with this older, really cheaper furniture. It's about this furniture I'm working on right now that you see in front of you is about 35 years old. It's not crazy old, but it's getting up there. Okay. Just have to give that a quick wash. Now let's fill it up. Okay, now I got to give this furniture a quick spritz down because this paint does get thick. There we go. I'm just going to give that once over with the chalk paint and say that now that feels and looks, yeah, okay, that's a good lesson on day one. That feels and looks a lot more even. Like I said, you don't have to be a surgeon with this paint. Just throw it on there, make sure it's even. That is so much better. See, I don't want it to have that look where it's just, it's got a lot of paint on it. Those cottage, pieces of furniture that just looks like it's got layer after layer of paint on it. You know, you don't want that look. It's very easy to achieve that look with the chalk paint, obviously, because I just achieved it by accident completely. Okay. So now we've learned we're going to go ahead and spritz it down first, which is an extra step, but it's not the end of the world. It's actually helping quite a bit. So I'm going to remove these drawers here, give them more time to breathe and dry out. And also, I'm going to move the other piece of furniture. Now that I'm using the spray bottle, I don't want to have any spray over. I didn't think I was going to be spraying anything for this project, but I'll bring this down for now. And look at that. Like last week, I couldn't even lift with that hand. Anyway, with that arm, I mean. Okay, anyway, guys, I don't have any likes on the video. Like the video, guys. Get in here. We're having fun. We're getting this done finally. You guys can see this piece all right? Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to shut up and kind of get to it for a minute here. I'm going to do it section by section now. Make sure you get every little crease. This paint is going on perfectly. It's awesome. These little 2.5-inch brushes really make it easy as well. You know, you can really load these things up. You don't want to load it up because we're doing it like a dry brush for this piece. But if you wanted to, you can. You could. You can and you could. Yeah, 2 coats will definitely do this one. Okay, it's a new brush, so I'm seeing a few of my brush hairs coming out. So this is Westwer. This is kind of the cheaper version of these brushes. So, you know, getting a little bit of problems, but nothing we can't handle. Right? We're on a budget, guys. We are on a budget. It's the budget Rockwood restoration here, guys. The budget Rockwood. And, you know, by budget, I mean cheap. Uh huh. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is it already 1 o'clock? That might be my roommate coming home. Holy smokes. The day flies by when you're having fun painting furniture. Now I see these cats on YouTube and they're always working on the ground. You know, they don't have a table. I know it's a bit more rickety. You can hear the table kind of bouncing around a little bit. But I can't work on the ground like that. I'm 6'4", 4.5, something. It'd be a nightmare for me. Even when I was a kid, like everyone's like, "Yeah, go crisscross applesauce. Let's meet in the middle, everybody. You know, get in a cycle." But I never found crisscrossing your legs. It was never comfortable for me. I'm just gonna spray it on the bristles here. Crisscrossing your legs, sitting in a circle like that. I was like in pain. It's like, how the heck does everyone sit like this? Okay, get everything underneath, all the crevices. My knees were aching, clay aching. Time to the blither. I'm blithering. That means I'm concentrating. So I'll get back to the comments if anyone's commented in just a sec. But we're looking good here so far. Coverage is awesome. This brush is wicked to handle. Okay, I'm actually going to move a little bit more in the center of the table here. And then I'm going to spin her around. Okay, 4 people. Hello, how are we? Yes, thank you. Shay, what's up, Shay? How you going? Hope you're well, bud. Hope you're well. Rumble, rumble. That's all done there. No, I still got a few spots in here. Chill, baby. Okay, that's good. Okay, Caroline says, I told you on Beagle I was going to. Hey, thank you. Joining me over from Beagle. God bless you. That's perfect. Been a long time. I'm glad you joined. And what do you do at home there? What are you doing today? Just scrolling through the old YouTubes, the old Begos. So if it's your first time doing chalk paint, which it is for me, and using this big brush and really getting down into these little crevices, I will tell you that it is a workout. My forearms are feeling really pumped. It's actually a good workout. The thicker the paint, the bigger the pump. That should be the name of this live. Yeah. I'm gonna put a little bit more water into the brush here. I'm just gonna put it into the brush. It seems to be working with a little bit of water in the brush. I'm getting ready for therapy. Since I've noticed you rely upon, well, thank you kindly. And enjoy your therapy, whether it be for the mind or the body. I love it. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Be good. Okay, I think I'm going to give the cameras a bit of a different angle for the long form content after this piece. Okay. Okay, let's see here. I wish it gave me a little notification when you guys did you guys have school today? No school. I had school today, but I'm missing it. We had a big snow day. Not for me. I know you guys are up in school, but we had a big. I think all the schools were canceled in my area about 3 or 4 days ago, maybe 5 days ago. Holy man, we had a big. I'm in Toronto, and our city was completely shut down almost. Is anyone else in Toronto? I'm in Mississauga, actually, just outside Toronto, but I was in Toronto that night when it snowed like crazy, and I was almost stuck downtown in the morning, which I didn't want to be because I wanted to come home and get myself some therapy for my arm, which I did, and now my arm feels a lot better. rotator cuff issue. I don't know what happened there, but something happened. My body didn't like it. There's another brush stroke. Let's get the insides of these drawers here. Inside there is good. Okay. Looking good so far. Coverage is great. Let's go down here. Let's see the insides of these two. How you doing? You're doing good. Up there, you need a bit of a spot. There you go. All right, one more side to go, and then I'm going to take a quick breather. Like it's a workout doing this with this thick chalk paint. And the top looks so much better. Okay, I see more brush bristles in the paint on the top, especially the top is where you don't want them, guys. So I'm going to take a little bit of extra time to remove those. Right, there's another one. Son of a gun. And they're only wee, so you don't really see them too well. But the second coat of paint should cover that up just nicely. Okay, nice color. I think so too. Yeah, it's called Deep Navy by Rust-Oleum. And it's a chalk paint, so it turns any surface into a chalkboard. Yay! Yay, wee! Hello, hello. Everybody like the video, guys. Make sure you like it, comment, subscribe. Go ahead, do it all. I'll be 1 second with you. I got to finish this last side here. Flip it around for that. There we are. Good, good. Make sure all that is covered. Yes. Let's go ahead and do that bit first. Just so paint, my brush is a little bit less loaded with paint. And we'll go ahead and hit all these little negative areas first. You're wise to do some of the negative areas first. Negative areas meaning like underneath these ribs here. You know, you're wise to just kind of get them out of the way first. And so you don't really have to worry about them or forget about them, you know, then you've missed them. And, you know, during your second coat, you're doing first coats in some areas. And I know it's inevitable. You're going to have it. It's going to happen. But you can always just stay ahead of the game. Okay, give me a moment here. I got to catch my breath while I finish this. This is some big workout here. Don't laugh at me. I know. I hear you laughing from here, Jenny. Jeez. I like your video. I thank you very much for that. Thank you. Thank you. I love the compliments. Guys, so positive today. Can't believe you're joining me from Bigo. That's my, so if nobody knows what Bigo Live is, oh, it is a fun little app from time to time. Bigo Live. I was a streamer on there for 3 years, I think. Just under 3 years or something like that when I was living in good old Mexico. It was awesome. I was a paid host for America, but then I went to Mexico. I was still getting paid like an American, and it was like, why the heck would I leave Mexico getting paid like this? So I stayed in Mexico for the whole 3 years while I was working on Bigo, and it was great money for the area of the world that I was living in at the time. You know, you can find a remote job like that and have fun doing it. Like Bigo was a lot of fun. Like you set up your own little parties, you set up your own little rooms, and for if people enjoy your content, they pay you with actual money. It was a lot of fun. With YouTube here, I'm hoping to get more of that. I don't want to, you know, I didn't like that having to, you know, rely on my fans to actually get paid on the app. I like it more the YouTube style. I'll rely on the ad revenue to get me paid, not anything else, you know. This spot under here needs a wee bit. And then we are done for this piece. And I gotta say, yikes, it looks good. It looks real good. So most of it's already dried. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's pretty crazy how fast this stuff will dry. I'm gonna take a small breather. I'm gonna put a little bit of paint on the brush here so it doesn't dry out completely. And I'm also going to spray some water in the brush for the same reason. You don't want your equipment to dry out in mid-use. So it's always wise to have a little backup plan there, and that's going to be my backup plan for right now. Okay, I'm going to stay with you, but I need some water in my body. Hang on. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to catch my breath and switch around these cameras. Okay. Now, Rockwood restoration only came about 2 months ago. Just started the channel. If you guys wanted to help a small YouTuber get started, you guys are going to see this is the ground floor. But people are going to like me. They're going to really, really like me, hopefully. So, okay, so I'm going to turn this off. There we go. Now, do I want to take this off? No, let's just bring that over here. Okay, this is going to take a portion of my cunning. Jeez Louise. Yeah. Okay, just let me check something out here. Do we still have a green light on this microphone? Hell yeah. Hydration, yes. Do you have fun on there? Of course I do. Met. Well, thank you, Caroline. What's your name on the other app? Okay, that'll do. Get you recording. Get you recording. All right, perfection. Okay, now actually, I'm not going to use any more gas for today for my heater. It is nice and warm in here. If you saw the short that I did before about the Buddy heater, it's a great little heater for a space like this. If you are into, let me think here. Let's put this over here to dry. Right now, if you're in Canada and you're near a Canadian Tire, they are like 70% off, I think, 60 or 70% off. So really good budget propane heater. And it's still giving off plenty of heat. I only had it on the low setting for a little bit, but that's crazy. You pick up a few of these are about, I don't know, $20 for 3 canisters, and that's a good 15 to 20 hours on low setting. And it works like crazy. Like I have nothing, no insulation, no major insulation in this garage, 1-car garage. And got the fireplace going inside and that going out here. And I'm in a wife beater, you know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. But I'm going to turn off the furnace because I can hear that thing rumbling. And I don't need the furnace on right now because it's plenty warm. Okay. Now, those who say that painting with chalk paint is not a workout, like a little workout, a mini workout, you're wrong. It is, like I'm huffing and puffing over here, guys. It's fun. It is fun. I'm trying to get it and spread it on there. Now we've already loaded the brush with water and paint. So we're doing a dry, it's called the dry brush technique. You just don't really care which way you go. We're just crisscrossing and slapping the first coat of paint on there. That's all you can do. Make sure you get every bit of the underneath, the negative. You want to kind of cover that area first, just so you don't have to come back to it. You don't really want to forget about it after, you know. That's typically where you'd want to begin. Okay. Now, when I was loading the brush at first, I was noticing that it was a bit too thick. I couldn't really spread it without it looking like an old, you know, the old piece of furniture you've got at your cottage that have seen so many layers of paint. It's like it's just thick with paint, you know? That's what it was looking like, and I wasn't liking that vibe. So I got out my spray bottle and a little bit of water in there. A little bit of water helps it out quite a bit. Now, if you guys are hearing any interference with my lapel mic here, I want you to let me know. It's really the first time I'm using this lapel mic while going live. I've used it for my shorts a few times, but I want to know where the best placement is. You know, I've got it hooked onto my apron, as you can see right here. But if you're getting too much interference, let me know. Yeah, yeah, and you know, using the wire brushes and all that, it can be okay, good, awesome, thank you. It can be a real pain. Yeah, it can also be really messy, and if you're not using the right chemicals, like when I first started refinishing furniture, it was my dad and I. Okay, I was about 20 years old, and he and I started a small business, but there weren't all these water-based products out, you know. So we had to rent, and we were refinishing. So that's using the strippers and the harsh chemicals, like you're talking about, right? And we had to rent a space because it's not legal to use them in a residential area, and the places that would rent to a woodworker were pretty few and far between because of the stench of these chemicals, for the most part. But then, as we were working together, the water-based community started making a bigger, you know, footprint, and we started getting some of these water-based strippers and stains and finishes, and they worked really well, and they didn't stink up the shop, and we didn't have to, you know, even it was like we had office space in that rental as well. And when my dad would use the computer in his office, he would have to wear a big 3M mask because the chemicals were that, you know, that potent. And our neighbors all the time, our neighbors in these areas, they wouldn't like us. Well, they like us. We're pretty awesome guys, but like, you know, they wouldn't like to work next to us. I'm telling you that for nothing. So getting these legs are going to be the most challenging part of this piece. I can already see that. So let's give it a good once over. I think I'm going to give this entire piece 3 coats of paint. It has good coverage, but I think it's going to look really, really clever with 3 coats of paint, 3 full coats. It's looking good so far, though. I'm liking it quite a bit. It's drying flatter than I thought it would because it's really thick paint, and you think, oh, it's looking a bit uneven as it's drying, but have faith. This paint is seeming to work out just fine. Get a little bit more paint here. Breather time. You got to go now? Okay, well, good luck to you as well. Enjoy your therapy. for the mind and the body. I feel you. Everybody needs a little therapy from time to time. Just to talk to somebody. Gotta feel somebody. Mm-hmm. Looking good. Yeah, like I said, these legs are going to be tricky because it's such a tight little quarter. But looking good so far. Check the OR. You like it so far? Oh. Check the OR. You love the OR. Okay. Negative spaces, guys. Don't forget about them. Okay. It's looking good. I'm going to move this around so we can all share in the visuals. Okay. Thank you for the likes, everybody. If you are enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe. No pressure. No pressure. Okay, I gotta keep this up. And now, again, don't forget the negative. The negative first. These legs here, they're part of the negativity here. A lot of angles for these bad boys. Okay. I gotta remember to do them first. Okay. Oh, well, this is going on. The coverage is tremendous for this paint. This is going to take 3 coats. I know it will. I want to do 3 coats. It's going to look so rich, so even. Rust-Oleum. That's the company that makes this chalk paint. It's actually called Chalked by Rust-Oleum. That's one way to do a spindle. It's the messiest way to do a spindle. But you learn that technique, that slippity slap technique. If you've ever used oil paints, you know that technique. Oil paints for like railings, old school paints. Flippity flappity, flippity flappity. My dad and I used to have, when you're working and you're into the, just like I'm doing now. You just you talk. You don't really know what you're saying. You just kind of blither away. That's what kind of going on. Mm-hmm. Okay. Get it in there. Okay, now it's time. Get this whole area here. I'm going to wait till the last. I'm going to do the top very last because the it's the most satisfying part of the job. Hey, I like to save the best for last. Who doesn't, right? Negative space. Let's get it up now. Okay. Nice big chunk of paint up there. Okay. Gotta hit that negative space. There's the blithering again. Get used to it, especially for the live videos. Not going to have a lot of this in the long form content. But if you enjoy the ASMR blithering, like my friend Jenny, then yeah, you go right ahead. Sorry for waking you. Sorry for waking you, Jenny. Sorry. Oh, funny guy. Go back to sleep. Back to sleep. Okay, thank you for the comments, guys. Thank you so much for the likes. We're getting there. Okay. Let me just make sure we're good. Under here. Yeah, that looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Make sure you're good as well. I can do a little bit more here. Okay. And that'll do. All done. A little bit more there. Okay. Keep it going. And the good thing about this paint, it does dry relatively fast. And it looks like it cures pretty fast too. It feels like it has a fast curing time, but I don't know. This is the first time I've used it. But yeah, we're not going to have to take any breaks here. This live is going to be consistent. I can give it the 3 coats that I want to give it right now during this live. Be done in about 2 hours. And then I think tomorrow we'll do the gold accents and other things to A, make these pop, and B, make these 2 pieces match. If you've been here for the whole video, this is the second piece. We got another piece that's on the ground here drying, and it is round. Everything about it is round. Now, everything about this one is square. Now, this one's got the drawer on the bottom. The other one's got the drawer on the top. They do have their differences, and their differences are drastic. But hopefully with a little decoupage paper, the proper accent paints, and these beautiful matching colors, we can sell them as a set. Right? Now, these were 2 pieces that I got relatively cheap. I've had them around for a little while. And I wanted to not only experiment with this chalk paint, but see if it is feasible to get 2 pieces that are dry. I am also going to post them, by themselves and see if they sell that way as well. Just singular. But I'm really excited to see if someone sees the vision that I see. And I really do think it'll look good if you put one of these on one side of the bed, one of these on the other side of the bed. It's the same color. No one's going to see from a far distance like that one's round and one's, they might even, but you got books on there, your alarm clock, whatever you have on your bedside table, that becomes I don't know. I think it's going to look great. I do have a vision. You'll see the vision when it's staged. And I think I'm going to stage these ones in my actual bedroom because it's got like a gray and white kind of motif down there. And I think it'll look really good with this paint once it's nice and solid. So first coat, guys, you're going to see this piece come together. If you're not watching this video live, skip around, have some fun. Like I said, it's just a lot of blithering and blathering at this point. I got 1 viewer now. No one wants to watch me anymore. Oh, golly. I don't blame you, people. It's not easy. Not easy being me. I'm gonna even this whole bit out a little bit here. Like I said before, I don't want it to look like it's that piece of furniture at your grandma's house that's got, one too many coats of paint on it, right? We want to get this nice, even coat. Okay, and that's it for that side. Let me just double check on the, no, see the legs? These legs are a pain in the butt. Get right in there, baby. Get right up in there. There we go. Now, with legs like this, for the second coat with these legs, I'm pretty sure I'm going to start at the bottom because they are going to be so easily missed because A, they're not very fun to do. And B, they are a little hidden from everything else. So, again, negative space, negative space, negative space. Get it on there nice and thick, and I'll add a little water to the brush to even it out. That's how we're finding this has been working pretty good so far. And we don't want to deviate. It's another reason why we're going to continue and just do all the pieces, all 3 coats, one after the other after the other. So after this, we get one, finish this coat. We go straight into the drawers again. Get the second coat on them. And then back to the round one, the round table, and then the square table. And then once over. Again, 3 coats on everything. And that will give us the coverage that we want for a piece like this. So it's going to really be nice and rich. And I am going to give it a top coat. I'm not going to just let it go out of the shop here without a top coat. It's going to have a nice matte finish to it. Or I did get wax, like furniture polishing wax. And that, I'll tell you right now, with impunity, I have never used wax on furniture. I've never enjoyed the idea of using wax on furniture. I love the way a good polyurethane finish looks. And I really didn't want to deviate. But like I said 1,000 times, we are a budget. I'm going to teach you guys how to do everything on a budget. And the wax is a lot less expensive than the polyurethane water-based these days. So I'm torn because I never ever thought I'd use wax on furniture as a finish, but I'm going to try it. Today's the day. Or no, we're not going to do that today. We're probably going to do that closer to the end. Well, you know what? No, I don't think so. No, I've come to the conclusion before that I'm not going to use wax on this piece. I remember why. I remember why now, but no, I'm not going to use wax on this piece. I'll tell you why. Because the gold gilding wax that I am going to use needs a liquid top coat. I have found that after a little bit of use, a little bit of practice with the gold gilding wax, not on any furniture, but just kicking around the house. I got the product a little while ago. I wanted to do some experimenting with it. I found out very rapidly that it does not completely cure. I painted something metal, I painted something wood, and I painted something plastic. And I painted something glass as well. And then I just let them all dry. I left them. I noticed that it was taking a long time to cure. So what that means is basically if I rubbed my thumb on the paint, it would transfer, not totally, but it would transfer to my thumb, which means it hadn't 100% cured. And that was weeks after I painted it. So I have found out subsequently that the gold gilding wax that I do want is a completely different brand, a brand that I cannot afford at the moment. But I do have some polyurethane flat And I'm gonna finish this with that. I forgot I had already come to that conclusion. Okay, negative space, a little bit more up here. Always get that negative space before we move on. Good, good, good. All done. You there. You there. Hello. Get all that good negative space. Get out of my personal space. Okay. Give everything a good look over, because you don't want any thick globs. You don't want any missing spots. Those legs, make sure they're completely covered. I see one spot right over here. Get you done. There you go. I'll even get you all the way around because you look like you're a bit thirsty. There we go. All righty then. That is looking dandy. Okay. Then we finish with the top, and then we're done. Okay, I have to go now. Okay, I already heard that comment. If anyone's got any questions about the gear I'm using, the type of finish we're using, the paint we're using, anything, you go ahead and comment right now. I've been doing refinishing for about 20 years, but I haven't picked it up in a little while. I'm a little rusty in my trade. I started this channel on December 6th, and we're about a month and a half in. And this is only the third project I've been working on, so cut me some slack. I don't normally do the painting of any furniture, and this is chalk paint, so it's a little bit different to handle than regular paint. You want to really get a lot in that brush there, 2.5 inches, and really work it into the piece. I don't have any wood grain to worry about, so that's not a factor in this piece right here. I've already primed it. I had to prime this one a lot. We had a really bad problem with this piece with the bleed through. Now, if you know a lot about bleed through, you know it can be a nightmare. It can be a nightmare. And this piece is from the early 80s. So if you know anything about furniture in those days, it's not the best materials they were using for some of the higher, faster production furniture, which this is. This is not like an amazing artist that made this piece. It's probably a factory. And the chemicals they used weren't exactly the best back in those days. So we did have a lot of problems initially. But the good thing is we got these pieces for very little money. So I could put a little bit more time and effort into these repairs that we need to do, into the primer that I need to get. And it's all gravy now. It's looking real good. Repairs are all finished. There's a big gouge in the veneer on the other one, the other piece we're working on. Okay. The second coat will even that out a bit better. That's looking good to me. Might not look good to you, but it's looking good to me. I know what type of finish I'm looking for. It's all gravy. Looking good. On this side especially, because we got the big lights over here. It looks so, that deep, rich color looks so good on this side. Okay, that is it. Now we're going to work on the drawers one more time. For coat number 2, I can put this right down here actually, because we're not going to be spraying the water bottle in the air. I discovered we're just going to keep spraying it onto the brush itself. Okay, let's get the drawers back in here. Now, for me, this is where we're going to see the real progress. Coat number 2 is where everything starts to come together, and coat number 3 gives it that, especially with the chalk paint, guys. You'll see. You shall see. It really, really gives it a rich tone, like an old rich mansion kind of tone. You know, that real quintessential richness that you want from any thicker, opaque product like this. Make sure my microphone's still on. Still sounding good, everybody. So the lapel mics, all the lights you see behind you, all the gear, everything's in the description if you wanted to get yourself a small studio going like this. And believe me, I've done this with some of the cameras and old phones that I've had laying around for years. And I've given myself an allowance, $50 every so often, just put aside, or buy yourself a little something to help. You don't need much to get a YouTube started off but it is important to get some good gear. It's important to sound professional, look professional, because of the competition that's out there on YouTube now. I figured I'd start it now, and everyone can see the progress as we go along. I've only been doing this channel here since December 6th, so under 2 months, and we've had some great success. Now, that looks beautiful. That is a nice, rich. I'm liking this a lot. This paint. I didn't know how it was gonna look, but I've got a good feeling now. And remember, we're doing the sides of the drawers with decoupage paper, so you don't have to really worry about the prettiness of that. But one thing I forgot to do is paint the insides of the sides of the drawers, because we're not getting decoupage paper for that, and I want it to be nice and even and beautiful on both sides. A little bit more on the brush here. Enjoy yourself, guys. Enjoy. Thank you for joining up. Okay, that's looking really nice and rich in there as well. Unfortunately, we're covering up the crappy 80s logo, whoever made this furniture, but we're covering up that logo. Sorry, whomever you are in China or something. Oh boy. No, it looks like it's an American piece, to be perfectly fair. It looks to be so. And I figured as we're going along here during the second coat, let's just give it all. I'm not doing the bottom. The bottom's going to be paper. That's all going to be paper down there. It's going to be paper on the sides, right, and the bottom, but not the back and not the insides of the sides. So I'm just going to finish them up nicely. It's going to look good. And this is only coat number 1 inside there, because I didn't think I was going to do this part of the drawer when I was doing coat number 1. But as you went along, it always changes. Your mind is always thinking of better and better and better. So I thought that might be better, and I had a better idea once I started seeing the color on the piece here of what type of finish that I wanted to see. And now I'm seeing a clear vision in my mind's eye, where the creativity begins. In your mind's eye. And I have my plans put down on paper. You want to, the moment you get the piece in your hands, you don't want to just go, okay, I'm going to do this color, I'm going to do that. It's not really like there's no code to it. But if you sit down and give it some thought, you'll have a much better time. And I made a short about this today. I think it might have been posted already. You'll have a better time if you know what you're doing. Because when you have those moments of writer's block, or you're kind of like out of creative, or maybe the idea that you had initially, it's not going to work anymore. And you got to think of another idea. Those can be pretty trying times, but you will persevere. And the more you do this type of work, Isabel, hello. Bien, bien. The more you do this type of work, the more you're um, flexing your creative muscle, as it were, the less and less you'll have those types of problems. Ooh, I put a bit too much on the brush there, but that's all right. I'm going to go on the inside of these drawers here. So, get in the corner. Get these done real quick here. Let me just put them on the table and slap this paint on, because again, I'm trying to do the second coat of these pieces. But I didn't forget to do, I chose not to do the insides of the sides of the drawers because I had a different vision. But now my vision has changed, and I believe it's changed for the better, the betterment. The betterment of the piece, yes. Okay, last one. Mm-hmm. Looking nice and rich. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now this part I kind of have to do all in the air, which is a little bit of a pain. I could rest it right there for a minute. Yeah, you'll see with this 2.5-inch brush and this thick paint, it is quite a good workout. I'm loving it right now. My arms are full of blood. I'm staying nice and warm in the cold winter. It's mid-January right now, about negative 10 degrees outside Celsius. If you're a Canadian, you know what I'm talking about. It is cold, 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 but we got our buddy heater in here. Now that is a nice, even coat of paint. I want you to see this close up, guys. That just looks beautiful. All right, it's going to dry nice and even. It's looking so good. Okay, so I'm just going to give that once there. See the other side here. Okay. That's all you're going to need. And then the top. One more time. That's looking good. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay. Not going to touch it. I think that's looking good enough for me for the time. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of paint on the brush, just on the tippity tip there. And then, just because we're not going to be using the brush for just a minute, I'm going to spray a little bit of water into the brush here. Close the lid on the paint and have that just rest there. You don't want, the worst thing is in the middle of a job, somebody dries out on you or really misbehaves. You just don't want that. Okay. That's good. I think that was definitely 1 o'clock there, isn't it? Okay. Okay. That's one. I am looking forward to this. We're gonna get this nice big piece here all done and filled in. There, looking good. Okay. Now, I am seeing some very thirsty parts of the wood right there, but hey, we're the monkeys. Now, before I go really all in on this piece, I want to make sure that, see, I've never used chalk paint. But let's read it here. I've never used chalk paint. I don't really know the curing time, and I want to know if they say that I should wait. Dries to the touch, 30 minutes. To handle 1 hour. Maybe recoat after 2.5 hours. Now, that's a good point. With the drawers, it's not a huge surface area. This is a big surface area. I don't think I want to disregard what the paint can says. So what I'm going to have to do is wrap up this live for now. I will be back. You know what? I enjoy coming back live a little bit later on in the day as well. Anyhow, you know why? Because there's a huge audience at 5, 6 o'clock, something like that. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to show you guys. I'm taking a regular shopping bag, plastic shopping bag from your local grocery store, whatever. Wrap up the paint brush with I just sprayed it, remember? So it's got water in there, it's got paint in there, and it'll stay saturated. Now, just like earlier when we were filling up the water bottle and I was telling you not to use warm water because the paint, the paint has a tendency to dry. I can activate subtitles, but I am watching you. Good job, thank you. I can't activate subtitles. I don't know how to do that. I wish I did. Is that it there? No, I'm not doing anything like that. No, I didn't want to do that. There we go. So just like I didn't want to use any warm water in the bottle because I don't want the paint to dry, you're going to put that in the fridge. Make sure that you're not going to paint your fridge up. Make sure it's nice and clean. But yeah, throw that in your fridge and that'll be good to go, good to use. A little bit, actually, even later on down the week, if you did that the same way I just showed you, you could pick up that brush in a week and it would still be just fine. Just like the day you put it in there. So for now, I'm going to come back in an hour, like literally an hour, hour and a half, and I'm going to really get it done. Like I said before, it's not smart to just go ahead and disregard what the top of the bottle says when it's your first time using the product. Now, I'm already in a pretty cold garage and these have been sitting out here. So already that says to me, I don't want to push my luck. The first coat really did work well. It looks like it's drying well, but I'm going to close the paint up here. Okay. I'm going to get a nice big swig of my water. And I'm going to bid you farewell. So thank you so much for all the comments. If we had a few subscribers, thank you as well for that. I'll be back 2 hours maximum, 3 p.m. PST. If you want to check back in with me by then, I'll be live and I'll be probably really into it by that point. So another coat's going on here, and then another coat. Again, I'm doing 3 coats. I've decided already. I don't care what it looks like after the second coat. I really want a nice finish on there, and I'm excited. The drawers already have 2 coats, and they are looking amazing. So until next time, keep your stick on the ice, and remember, if you can't fix it with duct tape, you're not using enough duct tape. All right.